Thank you. We're now going to go into City Council District 7. How many folks here live in District 7? So our first candidate is Abe Snobar. He's a nonpartisan candidate for City Council. He's a construction worker who has heard the calling to serve his community. As such, he is with us today to tell us why and how he can serve the interest of District 7 on the Sacramento City Council. Abe?
First, let me apologize for my attire. I'm running a football camp for youth 6 through 14 today, so I'm trying to multitask and be in multiple places at the same time. My name is Abe Snobar. In a lot of the publications, I don't necessarily get introduced in the proper way, so let me tell you who I am. I grew up in District 7 on both ends. I went to San Brandon Middle School, I went to Valley High School, left for college, came back. I taught in District 7. I'm a school teacher, 16 years. At Valley High School for 6, at Jackman Middle School for 1 within District 7. The parts that not necessarily frustrate me, but that concern me is that we haven't had a representative out of the Valley High area for District 7 in many years. And I believe there's a disconnect between the two sides. District 7 is Valley High, and then as well, it's the Greenhaven Pocket area. Two very distinct areas, and we definitely need to address both of them separately, as well as trying to find a way to connect them. And I believe that the connection between Highway 99 and I-5 on Casumas River Road is going to make it a lot easier for us to come together and become one real district, one solid piece. There's a few, let's talk about both sides. So in the Greenhaven Pocket area, it seems like there's a lot of status quo. People like the way things are. The people that have lived there a long time, and they're not very concerned with a lot of making too many changes, and neither am I. Mass changes in an area that's running well is not good for anybody. However, if we can infuse some things to make it a little more of a destination for people to go to. Even the Sac News and Review named it as the Forgotten Sacramento. It's a part of town that a lot of people tend to forget that we are a part of as well. We don't want that anymore. We want people to go, let's go to, well, they won't say District 7, but they'll say Valley High, they'll say Greenhaven, because there's something there that they want to see. Let's bring in some food, okay? Places to eat that are different than what's already around. Let's bring in some music, something that people may not have heard before or have experienced before. Let's bring in some culture. Both sides are dominated by, it's pretty mundane when it comes to those three things. Yeah, you're going to find your fast food restaurants, your small chains here and there, but let's bring in something that's going to make it a place that people want to go to. Okay, and that's on the east side of town. Let's go to the west side of town. Let's talk about Valley High for a second. I'm sorry, that was the west. Let's talk about the east side, Valley High. There's a lot of blight there. There is some homelessness. There are many closed stores. Now I know when you drive down Mac Road, you look on the right-hand side, which has always been the Target side for me, even though Target's been gone. That side has a lot more closed stores. Unfortunately, that's not District 7, that's District 8. But that doesn't mean we can't work closely with whoever it is, thank you, who comes into the District 8 office with Ms. Pinnell stepping down to come together. Mac Road is Mac Road, period. I don't care if we call it District 7, District 8. It's part of our area that when people drive through, they don't know the difference. So we need to work closely with whoever it is that's in District 8 to revitalize that side as well as this side. There is a program right now to revitalize Mac Road. But we don't sit there and make a distinction between a District 7 side of Mac Road, District 8 side of Mac Road. It's just Mac Road. So we need to make sure that we have an idea that works for us as well as them to work together to bring more business back into them. Now, let me ask you a question. You're going to start a business. You have 8 districts in Sacramento to start it in. Why would you bring it to Valley High if it's going to cost you the exact same money to start that business in any of the districts? When you have to go through the same red tape in every part of our districts, you're not going to bring it to Valley High. Now, as a city council member, I will make it easier for people to bring those businesses into District 7, into Greenhaven Pocket, into Valley High, by cutting some of that red tape, by reducing fees, by making things easier for people to want to come back into the area. For a person that grew up in District 7, but in Valley High specifically, people want to come back and do well. They just don't know where the opportunities lie. So let's educate them. That's what I do for a living. I'm an educator. So why not put somebody on city council that has the ability to express information to people that already trust him, people that already know me, people that want to come and make a difference just by volunteering in our campaign, as well as when we do get into office and we have resources, and I say we because there's a team. It's not just me. I'm not the only one that's going to be there. I will work directly with the firefighters, with the police, with the Parks and Recs district. Valley High Park is the only park that doesn't have a bathroom. They redid the park years ago, put in water fountains, which currently don't work, and yet they didn't put in a bathroom. If I live in that neighborhood and I take my small children there to go to play, I got to rush them back home if they need to use the bathroom. And I have 2 small daughters. So there's no reason why we can't do small changes like that to revitalize the area. I'm here to tell you that as a school teacher, I've dealt with all the families in that neighborhood. They've come and gone. They don't leave very far because they always come right back. And so put somebody into that office that already knows who those families are, that can work directly with them. And that would be me, Abe Snobar. Appreciate it. Questions?
Good.
Yes, sir.
No, how do you stand on the downtown arena?
Okay, so we have to look at this, when we talk about city council, it's always very downtown centric.
It's one of the 8 districts. So,
Correct,
yeah,
it is.
If elected, you would be helping to make the decisions
Absolutely.
moving forward.
I think the arena, and people, the 2 sides look at it this way. One says lots of jobs coming. The other one says lots of temporary jobs coming. We need to make sure that there are permanent jobs in place, which they throw numbers like 150 to 400. The arena is going to take a few years to build. Even if it's in a temporary setting, that's tons and tons of jobs coming in. Why would we say no to those jobs that would help out those families? In those zip codes, one of them is ours, 95823 in the Valley High area. Why would we say no to that? I think it's a good idea, even if it's temporary, and maybe those same people that during that development could find, doing a great job on that job, could find work again, doing the same kind of work, but on a different job. So let's...
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes.
I live in the 95823 area.
Yes.
And I would like for you, as my representative and voted in office, that you get the $70 million that the Kings owe us
Yes.
from 2 decades ago. The new people ran it down. They said the first thing they're going to do is they're going to pay Sacramento back the $70 million that the Kings owe them.
Agreed.
Where's the money?
And you know what? Maybe it's because our current office holder is running for something else. He did a good job while he was in office, but you've kind of short-timer mentality, so maybe it's not his concern anymore. But it will be mine when we get into office, as well as the $50,000 that we gave away to District 6, which never got used for what it was supposed to get used for, as well as the Measure U money that's coming in that's about $1.8 million a year for the next 5 years. There's money out there for us to use. Let's put a community center in right on that Casunas River extension, right where the light rail station is, between Delta Shores and Franklin Boulevard. There's no reason why we can't do that.
Put in a swimming pool for the kids.
Absolutely, in that community center. I agree. Good, thank you guys.